Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've been actually on holidays. I am planning on releasing a vlog in the near future, hopefully. I have a lot of footage, so it requires a lot of time to edit all of that. But anyways, I'm back, and it was supposed to be a sun holiday, but it was raining for like forever. So I didn't get any more sun than I would get here in Ireland. Actually, here it was better weather than back home, so it was kind of like shite. But anyhow, I'm here and I have this ambitious thing where I'm gonna try to have like 2 videos a week from the next week, from this week, where I'm gonna publish this video, and hopefully I can maintain that tempo, but we'll see. So today's video is about like a subject, why a woman is a woman's biggest enemy. And it's been something that I've been sitting on for quite a while. I'm actually gonna start this with like a very honest story of my own, where I actually I went to therapies because I have issues with women. And I know it's funny because I'm a woman myself, but I always felt like I'm never being backed up by my own gender. And I'm a cis woman, so I identify strongly with being a woman, which is funny because I don't feel like I fit amongst women. But never mind that, I still feel strongly that I am a woman. And I mean, like, what does we can talk about this now for forever, like what does even make us identify as a woman in the end? Anyhow, what I identify as a strong female energy is what I feel I have inside me. So that makes me feel as a woman, never mind what a woman by definition should or would be. Now we have that off the table. So basically I went to therapies because I always felt like there's men and there's women, and I'm somewhere here where I get along better with men, but I feel more like a woman. So nowhere. And I went to the therapies, and my therapist said, like, you know, try like a very female things, try wearing flowery dresses, behaving like one of those, you know, damsels in distress, and see how it feels like being beside a strong man. And all that made sense for me sexually because I am a very submissive person in bed, but then like in real life I am not, and I'm very like career driven person that has interests, that wants to be independent, that have like opinions of her own, and I was very hot-headed ever since I was born, pretty much. So I remember myself challenging my mother when I was 6 years old, challenging everything that a woman in my family would stand for, and being everything that a woman in my family would never be before. Never mind that they all wanted to be this, but none of them had the balls or the ovaries to do it, and it was a different time, so I have respect completely for that. But what I noticed is throughout my life, luckily, I had pretty good friends to begin with. In my high school, all the women were weird as me, so I found this not very feminine society that I could join in, and we supported each other because we had to, really, because if we didn't, it would be a lot tougher actually to do anything because we were weird. I mean, I joined a metal band when the metal bands were exclusively men thing, at least back in my hometown. So I already told you the story where I was the only woman amongst like 50 guys in the changing room, and I felt absolutely fine with them. I grew up with a brother, older brother, his friends were always around, and I was always around men, and men supported me. In a way, because I guess men don't feel threatened by women. It's a way because They always had their little world in which everything was easy enough and everything was allowed. And some of you guys may disagree because the newer generations don't feel like that, but once upon a time and up to maybe now, it was much easier to be a guy in the world. The balance kind of shifted a bit, but generally looking at it, it was much easier to be a guy than a woman. And I always felt backed up by most of my male friends, but then women. And this is where I have an issue, because I would always back up most of my friends, not most of my friends, all of my friends, and whatever they choose to be. And I felt like, you know, this is the right thing to do and we have to be there for each other. And I have this even romantic idea in my head where I would support anyone in anything they want to do, even if that is something that I would never do. And I still do it. And of course, look, sometimes if that thing is really something that is strongly, I feel strongly against, of course, in a way, I won't spend too much time with that person because we don't have anything in common, you know, like my beliefs clash with her beliefs. But we can have some kind of like middle ground where we can talk about something else. And of course, there's people that I just strongly can't have anything with because we're just so different. But that doesn't mean that I would badmouth them. You know, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, look at her, she's so wow. And also, God forbid if I would like go and protest against their rights and I feel this is a very hard thing for me. Many times I felt disappointed by female tribes, society, females in general, because it feels like we've been terrorized through centuries, and as if we didn't learn anything from that, and we're being the biggest enemies to each other. Like, honestly, like a woman would call another woman a whore more often than a guy would, and that says a lot. Why do we have to be so morally oriented around everything? Why do we have to, you know, like, if you're a mother, you would be like, look at her, she's like 14, has no kids. Why? I don't know. I feel like being a woman now in this century and Europe is a huge privilege, and it's something that a lot of my family, a lot of my ancestors, a lot of my, you know, like mothers and grandmothers and grandmothers didn't have the opportunity to be. And it's so important that we protect these rights, that it would be crazy if I go and protest against them. And I mean, I consider myself a very modern woman, and this is something I'm very proud of. I have a huge pride in it, and it's something that a lot of women before me worked for and worked hard. I mean, some of them might have lost their lives in actually protesting against something that was unfair and getting us to this equality that we can finally feel. But I don't get why as women we can't be together and protect each other. Why do we have to still look down on each other and help each other to get back in the line? And it's tough. It's tough. For me, it's tough. Like, I have issues with accepting my nationality. I have issues with accepting my gender. And not because I hate my country or I hate my gender. It's just what the majority of my nationals or my gender means. And that really saddens me. I decided, like, never mind that, to carry on, to really carry on and what my agenda is as a woman, and that is to protect women, to protect our equality, to protect our freedom of choice, and to protect all of our rights. And that's what I'm gonna be. And even if that's not majority, and even if that means that being like that and being supportive like that is gonna get me hurt, because I know it will, and not everyone is gonna treat me the way I treat them. But look, we just need to start from somewhere, right? It's very hard, I think, for women nowadays to find their place in the society, because it's so hard to even realize what a woman's place in society is. We've been, like, pushed in the line by our parents, by our school system, by our friends and families, to that point that we push each other now in the line, and that needs to stop. And this is the reason why one woman is the biggest threat to another woman, while it should be a opposite thing. But I guess we have to work on that and learn from that. The worst part is, like, where we're not aware of it and we just spread the poison ourselves and just spread it as a habit, basically. We listen to our mothers, we listen to our fathers, we listen to the TV, and we just spread the wild word again and again and again without ever stopping and listening to it. I mean, like, basically we would accuse another woman of being promiscuous, but we would rarely do that to a man. Why? Because if you're a man, that's considered, like, okay, right? But if you're a woman, then it's like, ooh, she's a woman with strange morals. Basically, what I wanted to say is that I would really love if we as women can take care of each other and really be there for each other and work with each other and support each other. And that's a rarity, and it needs to become a common thing, because this is what men do for each other. If you want, like, if you can, like, for next week, look around you and see how a woman reacts to another woman, how a man reacts to another guy, and where is the difference here, and to see how much more they're willing to support each other as default, while having another woman support a woman is like a rarity, and it shouldn't be. We're, like, jealous because we feel like there's a lack of success for women, so if she gets it, I'm not gonna get it. There's a lack of love for us, so if she gets it, I'm not gonna get it. So we can't really be happy for each other, because we had this lack of everything through centuries, because we weren't allowed to have all these things. But look, the times have changed, so anything is possible, but we're still sitting in our small box and we're like, oh, if she has love, that means, like, that guy is taken, so he could have made me happy, not thinking that there's, like, zillion guys out there that can make us happy. And not the same guy is gonna make the same woman happy. And it's so confusing, right? But basically what I noticed is the more we work on this idea, and the more we are being and getting aware of the issue is going to be easier to get resolved, and we can talk about changing the world and changing ourselves in that entire process. Anyways, guys, what do you think about it? Is a woman really the other woman's biggest enemy, or it's just maybe the things I see? Do you have different stories? Give me good stories. Like, if you have good stories, please provide them. I am looking for inspiration. I'm looking to change my train of thoughts, and I'm looking, like, to let more women into my world and to have more of that kind of supportive society, supportive world, supportive tribe that I would be able to have. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did, let me know, and I will see you soon.